Okay, so this gonna be my One Piece talk, and obviously this is gonna be spoilers if you don't have read chapter 1017 yet. Yeah, do not watch this video because it's gonna spoil lots of things. And okay, the first thing I want to talk about is Queen's hybrid form. And we know now that Queen was working with a specific group that calls Mad Scientists. And speculation here is that it is Vegapunk and Sanji's father. I forget his name, but Sanji's father, the king over the Yerma Kingdom, the military organization. And then we have the other one. So it's 3 scientists. That's a real scientist, not Caesar Punk. He is a student of scientists. When we're talking about the real scientists, like the big fish. Yeah, so we see that after, obviously, now we know it is confirmed that Queen the Plague is a cyborg. It's a very high-ranking cyborg. And obviously he transformed to his hybrid form after Sanji kicked him in the head. He started to use his hyper beam to try to kill Tama with that beam, and Sanji saved her by kicking her, and he transformed as a really, I think this design is really cool, like almost like a combination. Have you read ever like Asterix and Obelix? And like Queen is something like a hybrid between Asterix and I don't know the name of this guy, but the American guy in Street Fighter is a hybrid between these two characters in look, like the clothing style of it, and the hair and all this kind of thing. So I think they're really cool. And so it's gonna be really cool to see in the next chapter that will come out next Friday, to see what will happen with their Queen's ability, what kind of tactic he will use in his hybrid form, and this kind of thing. But that is all information we get from Queen, that he was a member of the Mad specific scientist. We don't know if, for example, if King also belonged to that group. That is possible because we know that Queen have fire from him. But he don't use any fire fruit. His fruit is the Pteranodon. So that can be possible too, that he's also a cyborg. Then he's gonna be the first flying cyborg. Dinosaur cyborgs. Like I think most of this kind of thing, like King and Queen, are obviously inspiration from like Godzilla, from that world of Godzilla. Because we know in Japanese culture, in pop culture, Godzilla is like really popular. Like everybody in Japan knows about Godzilla. It's a super popular thing. Like it's a legendary creature. It's a legendary. Everybody knows about Godzilla. I can promise you, everybody that like comics or read comics or manga or watch like science fiction or like this kind of movies. So it's like always inspiration from Godzilla and Jurassic Park. So it's like I think the Wano arc is like a mixture of like Jurassic Park, inspiration from Jurassic Park, and Japanese culture, like the samurai, the ninja, the geisha, and all of this kind of thing. Okay, yeah. Now let's go to Who's Who, and Who's Who obviously fighting Jinbei, but now we know about more about Who's Who's backstory. We know that Who's Who was once a time, 12 years ago, a member of CP0, and he was guarding the Gum Gum no Mi fruit that Monkey D. Luffy have right now, that use his body can be gummy and use ability with like stretching ability and all these kind of things, super cool abilities. And obviously Who's Who was fired from his work, and he was prisoned for his failure to guard that fruit on the ship, of the government ship. And Who's Who was Who's Who a teacher to Rob Lucci, because he was now Who's Who is 40 years old right now, and Rob Lucci was, I think at that time, 17, and this kind of thing. So And obviously, what I think right now, that this is the thing. Now we start with the speculation here. So my speculation is that the gum gum fruit originally belonged to Goldie Roger, and after Goldie Roger's execution in the hands of the world government, you know that every time people get killed, somehow eating a devil fruit, the devil fruit come back to life again, and some other person can eat that fruit and get that power. So what I think happened is that in some ways, Shanks knows where the fruit will rewind again, be, and I think, and that was so that he know and somehow has scouts, and he know the world government also knows about that, and take that fruit to their ship and put it in somewhere. It's probably in a box under the ship, with lots of military guard protected it, and probably lots of sea stones and lots of protection. So nobody can reach the fruit. Almost like you go to a museum and you see the diamond jewel from the English crown, almost like that protection, but much more heavy, more dangerous protections. And probably Lucky Rouge was the only one in somehow can teleport inside and take the fruit and vanish, and so so that how it was possible to take it from Who's Who, and this kind of thing. So this is what I think. So the gum gum fruit, originally, my speculation, was Goldie Roger's fruit. And the story that we tell that the gum gum fruit comes from a specific tree that only grows 10 years, and it only get one fruit every second 10 year, is probably a lie. I think this fruit is more special than that, and I don't know, because we know that we only see some few fights with Goldie Roger when he was younger, and we know also that Monkey Luffy can fight without stretching his legs, so we know that you can also fight like a normal fighter, like a totally normal fighter when he fights. But I think that it's totally possible here that his fruit is the Gum Gum no Mi, that Monkey Luffy have taken the same fruit as the King of the Pirates have eaten, because that give them a lot of connection. For example, that will be like similar to, like, example in Naruto, with like the third Hokage used the Rasengan, and Naruto also used the Rasengan, and they use lots of connection together, like this kind of thing. Anyways, but so Who's Who is very angry at this because of the failure. He failed in that mission, and he was punished for that. So he escaped and joined the Beast Pirates, and so he is the member of the Beast Pirate of the Flying Six. And yeah, but the thing I think right now is many of the members of the Beast Pirate, the high-ranking officers, and under them, like the higher ranker, are more likely to be like ex-members from other groups and groups and works. For example, I think King probably is ex-prison guard for Impel Down, and probably he did something extremely horrific, and he was fired from his job, and that is a big possibility. And obviously that probably Queen was probably the same, that working for the mad scientist, but maybe he was too horrible to be allowed to work with the scientist. Maybe he used all his scientific abilities for human experiments and horrific things, so that maybe there is a reason why he joined. So lots of the people in the Beast Pirates are probably rogues members that originally worked for the world government or other works or this kind of thing, but they was fired from their works for different reason, and maybe they left the work because they want to have a more free hand and this kind of thing. And yeah, I think that is I think this chapter was really cool. It's with just specifically with King and Queen and other information, but specifically they open more a second door for us now, because yeah, I think before with Gällande about the gum gum fruit is that we think there was a normal fruit, but maybe some people maybe in the back head have the speculation or think about that it probably is Goldie Roger's fruit, because of connection that if you see Monkey D. Luffy, you see lots of connection with Goldie Roger. He have the same hat that Goldie Roger have, that Shanks, the Goldie Roger give to Shanks, and Shanks give to Monkey D. Luffy, and obviously, so this like, yeah, I absolutely think in some ways that we have, like, first time ever, like 12 years ago, the first chapter One Piece, like the first official One Piece chapter, when Shanks come with his red-haired pirates to the island, and Monkey D. Luffy eat that fruit of mistake. I think everything, obviously they don't tell us at that time, but obviously they build up so we know more information, and this kind of thing. But and obviously in this chapter it was no fight with Kaido in this chapter with Yamato, but maybe the next chapter or chapter after that we're gonna see Yamato's fight and Monkey D. Luffy fight together against Kaido. And then obviously we still have waiting for the fight. So I think that I agree with that we see also, obviously we see that that Husu use a dagger instead of a sword, instead of his abilities. Yeah, maybe we're gonna see Jack's hybrid form next chapter or the chapter after. I don't know. But I think it's. Yeah, it was a good chapter. It was a really good chapter, and yeah, I think, yeah, because we can see more like things that many people speculated before about who will Queen fight. Obviously Sanji, because they have connection and this kind of thing, and I think. I personally think where I think the coolest hybrid form is right now absolutely have to be, probably it's very close, very close, but I have to say Who's Who, but it's like only 1% cooler than Queen's hybrid form, and it's also gonna be interesting to see how, for example, Sasaki's hybrid form gonna look and Jack's hybrid form gonna look like, and this kind of thing. But I think that we're gonna be confirmed sooner than later that Goldie Roger was the person that had the fruit originally before Monkey D. Luffy, and this kind of thing. That's part of just my speculation for the whole thing, and this kind of thing. So yeah, I think. And I'm wondering if we're gonna see the fight with Zoro versus King. It's just that the Zoro right now, Marco fighting King, but that is totally possible that we're gonna see that, or maybe we're gonna see some extreme upgrade with King's power when he uses hybrid form. And maybe they have to team up, Marco and Zoro together against King. That can be possible. It can be totally a possibility here. With the commander's hybrid forms are like give them like 12 boost in power. I don't know. Yeah, one will have its good thing, and it also have its bad thing, because it's so many things. So it's hard to really put one against one. Because we have so many different characters. We have the commanders, we have the Straw Hats, we have lower ranks and all this kind of thing. So it's like we only know like Jimmy, Who's Who, Sasaki, Frankie, Nico Robin, Black Maria, and Brooke. We have the Skybirds. We have Jack. And we have Kaido, we have Big Bomb, and we have so many powerful characters in this arc. I think that is in this, yeah. So this is the most powerful arc we ever have seen in One Piece, with all the power players. and this kind of thing. And yeah, this kind of, so I don't think that Roch Diesebek was the person who had the Gongonum fruit. I think more likelier that it's hard for me to say what kind of devil fruit Roch Diesebek have, but probably the reason why reason why Goldie Roger and Carp together was able to defeat Roch Diesebek and the Rock's Pirates was probably because of that fruit, because in some way of that fruit. And I still believe that Roch Diesebek is Monkey D. Dragon or Monkey D. Dragon's father. That is still my speculation for the future. And the same thing for like the final Sword's duel with Zorro is probably one of the 5 elders. And this kind of thing, yeah. But the whole thing is that the whole reason behind this video is what I think that Goldie Roger's Devil Fruit, the Gongon no Mi. Also, my speculation there is the fruit that Monkey Luffy have eaten right now. After Gongon fruit was originally belonged to Goldie Roger, and after his execution, the fruit was reborn, and Shanks take that and run away with it to the island, and there was a specific fruit, and he like obviously One Piece is comical comic. He forget to protect it, put it in security, and Monkey Luffy eat that fruit. And from that start, the journey starts with that fruit and the connection. So obviously, after Monkey D. Luffy punched the sea serpent, he say he gonna be the king of the pirate. And obviously, I think Gongon no Mi fruit and king of the pirate is connected with each other. So this probably there is a reason of the journey. And this, so they are connected. I'm pretty sure they are connected with each other. They are Gongon no Mi belong to Goldie Roger before Monkey D. Luffy. Yeah, and that is everything I really gonna have to say. Yeah.